What's up, Coyote back? Welcome back to the channel on another Coyote Reviews episode, the series where I give my honest opinions on the latest and popular games. This series will be ideal for you if you're not sure about buying a game, want more information on the game, or even if you want another person's opinion after you finish the game. My goal is to save you some hard-earned money and show off games that you might not even considered playing. Before we kick things off today, if you think this series is ideal for you, why not consider subscribing to the channel? I will be posting at least 2 videos a week, so stay tuned. Now that's all out of the way, guys, let's just jump straight in to the video. Just a little disclaimer, guys, all footage on this video was captured on PC, and don't worry about spoilers if you haven't played the game, because this video will be totally spoiler free. That being said, guys, let's just jump straight into the review. Firewatch is a first-person adventure game developed by Campo Santo. It was released back in 2016. I am very excited to announce that this game still holds up in 2021. You end up getting married to a girl called Julia, but find out that she's forming the early stages of dementia. Now, depending on your choices, she moves back home with her parents because her parents believe that you are not fit to look after her. In an effort to try and forget about the past, you get a new job at Firewatch. Firewatch is basically the firefighters of the forest. Their main goal is to look out and prevent forest fires in the area. This is where the game really starts to take off, as you meet Delilah when you start the job. Delilah is also a lookout, but the only way you would contact her throughout the whole game is by a walkie-talkie. This is a bit like BioShock if you've ever played that. Long story short, guys, creepy things start to happen in the forest, and it's your mission to try and find what's going on and uncover the truths about the forest. Please note, guys, that there's a lot of choices in this game that you choose specifically, but keep in mind that there's only one possible ending, and these choices do not matter at all. Now, in games like these, I don't see a point of choices. Like, why put them in if they're not gonna impact the story? You know what I mean? It's nice to choose and it feels refreshing, but at the end of the day, it's not impactful, so you don't really care about the choices you make. Right, guys, the first thing you will notice about this game is how visually stunning this game looks, even in 2021. And bear in mind, this game came out 5 years ago. The graphics and the aesthetic of this game just totally hold up. Now, this game is so beautiful, from the open forest to the lush lakes. Everything is so well crafted, and the visual style on this game is phenomenal. So guys, gameplay wise, there isn't much, but don't let this put you off. The game would be considered a walking simulator, as there is no fighting and there's no possible way to die. It's full on story driven. You basically get put in this watchtower and you have to fend for yourself. I wouldn't class as a survival type game because it's not, but it's got some of them elements. Basically, you have some equipment that you can use. You get most of it at the start of the game, but as you explore around the map, you can unlock more. Now, these equipment start off very basic. You get like a compass, you get a map to help you go around the map, and you basically get a flashlight, you know, the basic stuff, but you tend to use some more than others. But at the end of the day, these are your main goals. Like, this is what you're using basically for the whole game, so get used to it. So let's talk about the map. The map is what I would call a semi-open world. Now, what I mean by semi-open is it classes itself as an open world game, but at the end of the day, it is open. You can explore a lot, but you get blocked off by these barriers of rocks and trees, you know, so it does limit yourself. But I would say it's a fairly decent open world. There's a lot to explore, even though sometimes you can't get around the full map because you need the equipment, but that's basically normal game, innit? Like, there's no other game, open world game, that doesn't have this. Basically, you'll be exploring and you get these caches. Now, what these are the like little chests basically that you can open with a lock code. Now, this would be really fun, but all the lock codes are the same, which I just did not like, and you get told this code straight at the start, so it makes them pointless. They might as well have just been open, you know. Now, it makes you think, like, why wouldn't someone come along and open these? Bear in mind, the combination lock like someone's mum must have fucking come up with it, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is basically pointless. But these supply caches are ideal for getting new equipment, updating your map to expand the map, and to pinpoint key locations in that general area. There's also like these notes that you find that are basically side stories. They're very interesting to read, so I definitely recommend reading them. As you are hiking around the map and exploring, you'll be radioing with Delilah the whole time. So she's basically exploring the map with you. You're just communicating what you're seeing. Now, this is a really fun aspect of the game, and all these tools combine make you feel like you're actually on a hiking trip in real life, and it takes a lot of elements from real life. So you've got to basically use your survival skills, like you've just went hiking or, you know, camping for the day, and you've got to just basically, obviously not hardcore, it's not a hardcore game, but it is fun, and it feels like you're getting rewarded for the stuff that you use. All in all, guys, gameplay is very basic, but there's enough to keep you satisfied throughout the whole game. Basically, it plays on the more you explore, the more rewarded you are, if that makes sense. But like the whole story, you will travel around the whole map at least once, so don't worry about just running and off and having to collect these side things, because you're most likely going to stumble over them in the main story anyway. So even if you don't want to explore the world, you don't have to, which is a good thing. Now, guys, onto the story. Now, this is the main aspect of this game. Bear in mind, like, this whole game is around the story. Now, bear with me, because I'm going to go on like a little bit of a ramble here. I've got some bullet points written down, but all in all, this story for me really, really annoyed me at the end. So let me just explain a couple things. Like, just to get out the way, it is a 3-hour game. If you're, you know, playing at a normal pace, maybe you can get 3.5 hours out of it. But for the majority of players who are probably going to rush through it, you're going to get 3 hours. And bear in mind, this is a £15 game. Now, I think you can get away with this. Like, I'm not moaning about the price, but totally wait until it's on sale. It's the right thing to do. It's an old game. If you're playing on PC, you can probably pick it up on G2A or something. So I totally recommend just waiting for it to go on sale. That being said, right, this story at the start is very emotional. I love the start. The start had me hooked, because I was going into this game like thinking, I was basically thinking, you know what, this is actually really good. But when I first started, I was like, I wasn't too excited to play it. I mean, I wanted to play it obviously, but you know when you're not excited. But it did get me excited. It got me hooked at the start. You know, choosing your choices, doing, you know, learning about the characters. Like, there's only 5 characters in the game, I think, and basically they're all boss. Obviously, you have Delilah, and then your wife is more important than, you know, say like the other characters. But you really have a bond with these characters, especially Henry and Delilah. Like, you could go through this whole game and kind of flirt with Delilah and totally forget about your wife, or you can stand your ground and basically say, no, I respect my wife, you know, like stop it, you know, and not progress like relationship wise. Found this to be really engaging, like to a point where I was so invested, like I just wanted to call out like random things around the map and say, and just, you know, to hear more dialogue. Now, the voice acting in this game, I want to do a special part for this. Like, I need to go out my way to say this. The voice acting in this game, when you first start, you're thinking, oh, this is some, you know, they've just hired some random ass guy to just voice the game. But as your time goes on, I don't know how to explain it. These voices, they sound so real. And it sounds like, you know, he could be your mate. You know, I know that sounds stupid, but I've never experienced it in the game before. It's really hard to explain. Just, I want you to go out and, if you have this game already, tell me what you think of it. You know, I generally thought at the start of these voice actors, I thought, you know what, this is dead. Like this is awful. But the voice actors, by the end, I was so hooked. It was like so gripping, and the voice acting on this game is phenomenal. Like, I can't compare it to any other game. You're probably thinking, Lucas, you've said it was bad. You said the story was annoying. You've got annoyed. So I'm getting to this now, guys. Right. So I was going through this game, and bear in mind, 75% of the game I'm going through, and it's going amazing. It has such a big build up, and then this is where it comes in. It just crushed me at the end because the ending was so poorly done, and I know that will be controversial, and people are gonna probably dislike this video just for them words coming out my mouth, but the ending just was so bad for the basically how much build up there was. You know, like, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the build up was basically someone's, you know, like, you're trying to find out who's after you, basically. That's all I'm gonna say. And there's a build up, like, shit happens, you know, things start to get really spooky and scary, and then you're like, oh, it was that person, you know. Oh, now I'm going through the story, and this builds stuff up in your head. You're making conspiracies, you're making theories the whole time, and then when the ending comes, you're like, oh, it was, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad ending, it just didn't, like, for the story, it didn't hit the same way the rest of the game did. You know what I mean? That's why I feel bummed out at the end, because it was such a really good build-up. It got me hyped, and then at the end it just didn't perform. But there was a lot of cool stuff at the ending that I'm not going to spoil. Like, other bits of the ending was cool. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, as you explore in the world, like, little side things. There's a lot of notes you can collect in this that you can take your time to read, and they are actually well written notes. You can store them, and really what I found brilliant about this game, it's only something little, but I found this so, you know, so good. As you're going around the world, you can collect, like, these notes, these objects. Like, you can even, like, I don't want to spoil this, but you can even collect an animal. And all these things, then as the day is progressing in the game, you take up to your tower. So you see all the notes sticky taped to the wall, or you can see some photos that you collected, or say if you got I got a bottle of whiskey, or some type of alcoholic drink. And basically, I woke up the next day after the chapter progressed, and it was sitting there on my desk, and you could pick it up and drink it. Like, little details like that I love. But yeah, the story's not awful. I definitely recommend picking it up just for the build-up. But the ending, don't get too excited over the ending, guys. That's my biggest advice about this game. So guys, on to my final verdict. Coming in at a 3-hour game and £15, you've got to kind of take that into consideration. Now, the graphics are superb, like we've seen, and basically the story, the first 75% of the story is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to have to give it a rating that's good, but I'm going to take away a couple points for the story and the ending. So my final verdict today is going to be an 8 out of 10, my highest rated game on the channel so far, guys. I think it totally deserves it, just for the fact that it's such a story that you only can experience once, and I totally recommend you go out and get this game. If you get it on sale, if you wait for the sale, even better. I think you can get away with spending £15 on this game. I think you will be satisfied. So guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you've enjoyed today's video, why not consider leaving a like down below? It really helps support the channel, and it gives me the motivation I need to make more videos for you guys. That being said, I just want to say a little thank you at the end of this video, just to say how excited I am for the future of YouTube. I've been really enjoying making these videos for you guys. Even if I entertain 2 people, you know, it makes my day. Even if someone leaves a constructive comment, I take that on board and I try to cooperate it into my next video. I totally enjoy every aspect of YouTube, and I can't thank you enough. I know it sounds stupid. Say if I even get 5 likes on a video, it makes me day, because at least 5 people have enjoyed that, you know. Other than that, guys, I will leave my Coyote Review series in the description, or I might even put it on screen if you want to catch my other videos. I know this channel hasn't got tons of content at the moment, but as I said at the start of the video, I'm going to do at least 2 videos a day, so stay tuned for the future of this channel. Other than that, guys, I hope to see you in my next videos. Peace!